G'day guys, it's Wayne Forrest speaking at True Voice today. I'm here with the lovely Heather and, of course, the lovely Susan.
Our gorgeous Susan.
Yeah, our gorgeous Susan. So we are looking at the holiday season and what that means to a lot of people. Quite often people look at setting resolutions and for the new year or whatever that is, and creating a better and more powerful 2019. So we thought we would have a look at it as well, and we might even touch on what we're going to create in 2019. But we also want to give you some lovely tools to help you create the 2019 that you would love to desire in your heart. So let's start with the lovely Susan, and we'll go into some of the things around creating a new powerful vision for 2019.
So hello everyone, it's so wonderful to be here with you today, and thank you Wayne and Miss Gorgeous. We call Heather Miss Gorgeous, but she's always talking about gorgeousness, and we adore her and we adore Wayne, of course. We've just been having a giggle before we started this podcast as well. It's amazing how one starts to understand another person when you're working together. And they were actually teasing me because my husband died 3 years ago. You'll be able to read about the follow-up and everything else that happened to me after that, and my awakening and my reason d'etre and why I'm here actually talking to you on this podcast. Life changes when you actually start using your mind to actually decide on what you're going to project and what you're going to decide for your life. And this is when we actually start talking about resolutions as well. I wonder if any one of you have failed at a resolution. And in our way of actually believing in the power of the mind and positivity, the use of failure is actually a word that we skirt around, because we believe that nobody is a failure, that anything that they actually look at is a challenge and a reason for changing what they're doing in life and how they're actually going to recalibrate and actually use that failure, let's say a failure of a diet or a failure to stop drinking and be sober, or failure to spend more time with your kids instead of sitting on your smartphone and things like that. So when you actually become aware of what you don't like about yourself or what you want to change with yourself, that is actually a success. And it's actually leading you to believe that you have the ability to make something that is a negative into a positive. And one of the things that I would really love to recommend and put forward to you is to rethink about any resolution. Rethink and actually tell yourself, I'm going to ditch New Year's resolutions. And the reason I say this to you is because of failure. We have spent all our growing up years on the 1st of January telling ourselves, this year is going to be different. So how do you actually say to yourself, this year, this 2019 is different? I'd love to make a suggestion before the event of Christmas, the Christian event of Christmas, but now it's become a worldwide celebration, and we actually now talk about holiday season, the festive season, and everything else. So it's become a united holiday that people actually celebrate all over the world, and any religion or creed actually take off this time to celebrate and be with family. And that's a very interesting concept, which is a wonderful thought to know that you have this time to actually be with family and to rethink. And if you're not with family, to make an effort to actually be with yourself, who is the most important member of your family. I would love you to go out to a hardware shop that sells seeds. And I believe that each and every one of you, and that every member of your family gets a packet of seeds, gets a flower pot, puts the best soil in it, so it becomes a family thing, or you can do it yourself if you're living on your own in some place, somewhere, anywhere in the world. And you plant those seeds right here and right now. And you watch those seeds start to grow. And know that each and every one of those seeds that you choose to look after through this period of time, right through until January, you look at those, and each one of those seeds becomes a thought. And each one of those thoughts becomes what is going to be a brand new beginning for yourself. And when you've actually created this beautiful garden, you nurture and you look after that garden for the rest of your life.
Wow, Susan. that is fantastic.
It's a great way as well. And you know, Wayne and Heather and anybody who's listening, when you actually start dealing with what Universal Spirit has given to us, which is the earth, which is a plant, which is the beauty of a sunset or a sunrise, it is nature. And in the nature of your soul, you will actually start being able to create and recreate yourself. So it becomes a family thing as well, or it becomes a personal thing to you if you don't have a family. And those seeds become your thoughts, your ability to actually renew and reignite with yourself, your true self.
It becomes a living prayer.
It absolutely does, Heather. And you know, there's one thing I love about your writing. I mean, we're all writers, and we have this passion to be able to put our words out there to share with people. But like you say, it becomes a living prayer. And I would love for you to be able to share with everybody that thought.
You know, we speak about, as coaches, well, consultants, these are just words. What we've forgotten as a society, and just listening to you, you know, New Year's resolution, you know, it's Christmas in a few days' time, and watching the rustle and the bustle and the people, and just if people took the time to go out onto the streets to actually see what's actually happening out there. This time of year, about a month leading up to the Christmas season or the holiday seasons, there's so much pressure that we actually forget to breathe. We actually forget our surroundings and what is actually out there. You know, we've been in this property for a year and a half, and we've established this property, and from seed to table, everything that we grow. But we've forgotten about the most simplistic, ultimate holiness of what we can do on this earth plane, and that is actually, as you say, buy a seed, plant a tree, look at it, nurture it, grow it. But in that action of doing that, it's a living prayer, because all our love, our warmth, our gorgeousness, our respect, our desire of our hearts, of wants, is planted in that seed. Not a thing that costs hundreds of dollars to give to your children. Not outdoing your family, your friends on the best way you can cook. It's about just simply taking that beautiful breath of I'm here now, down on your knee, holy, holy, and celebrating you being here, the next person that's here. I mean, Wayne and I saw each other a week ago as he was passing through, but we still had time in this busyness because they were touring, they were going on an off-grid trip, to simply just look at these gorgeous people out on the street, giving them a chicken drumstick, you know, taking the time. And I'm not for one of fanfare, of sparkles. I'm one for bringing that warmth, who I am, into another human being, and that simple act of acknowledging that other human being in this busyness. So when we speak about, and this is what I love about you and Wayne, when you do your dream building and your vision, and we've stuffed up as a human race of New Year's resolutions. We've stuffed up completely because we're doing it to ourselves. We're putting too much pressure on ourselves of having to keep up with the Joneses that are next door, or having to keep up with that media group, or having to keep up with that, and all this hype. And for me, it's utter bullshit. I'm here to say to people, how does love see it? What are you doing to yourself?
And I'd just love to add to that, so Heather, and both of you really put it in a lovely way. It's like growing that seed. It's simplistic. It's just nurture, and we forget to nurture ourselves the same way. You know, our desires and dreams, we don't nurture them. You know, we don't nurture ourselves. We're always caught up in our busyness and situations that we live in, especially this time of the year. Like you said, the pressures, the amount of money, the work. You know, we're flat out. How many people have you heard? Oh, Christmas is here, and I haven't got time. It snuck up on me. I'm so flat out. All those things people are saying quite often to us, and I feel like just saying, just take a deep breath.
Absolutely.
Simplify it.
Yeah.
You know, come back to the basics. This time is about taking a breath and creating, just like that seed. You know, plant a new seed, nurture yourself as a seed.
Absolutely. What we could actually put across to people is, let's call them a habitual seed of habit. So when you actually think about this, when you focus on implementing one and only one habit, which is one seed to start, and then once the foundation is set, you start building your additional habits. So you watch as these seeds grow. So as one seed grows, you actually say to yourself, right, well, this one habit, and I'm going to go into building the next one. So you then actually start with your keystone habit or your anchor habit, and then you start to say, this is what I'm going to work on. But the beauty of it is it's actually growing, and you're watching it happen. It's not out there in the ether, oh, yes, I'm going to do that. Okay, I know we do recommend that people actually write down in a daily gratitude what they really and truly actually want to manifest or believe that is going to give them the happiness of a day. So daily gratitude is also a wonderful habit to actually start working at, to be able to get you through the change that you want to see. But
Wow.
you know, there's an interesting thing here as well. And like Wayne was saying about Christmas, and oh my gosh, I haven't got this done and that done. Well, why on earth in only one time of the year are you doing this? Or are you going out to a shopping mall and you're watching everybody angry and cross and bumping into each other because advertising has told all the kids that they must have some certain type of toy or new internet game or something or other? Why not step back, take a deep breath, and like Wayne and Heather said, smell the roses. And that brings me back to your seed habits.
And Susan, you touched it right there. Everything is in our breath. You know, like it's taking a deep breath.
Yes.
I see so many people come to me with their conditions and their circumstances as a coach and as a friend, right? And they are flat out. Like they are so busy talking and living what they are in their circumstances. And I simply say, whoa, take a breath. Take a big, deep breath. And it's amazing what that does. It just really calms them down. And then you can think more clearly about what you really want to create in that nurturing your seed, as you both beautifully put. You know, like a great incident was this morning. There was a little bit of an argument with the kids, and it was like, you could tell they're not breathing. They're just flat out trying to get whatever point of view they wanted to get across. And it was like, whoa, just slow down, take a nice deep breath. And as soon as they did that, their whole body relaxed, their attitudes relaxed, and they could see it differently.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is where in short, when you talk about this, you know, let's think the ship, and when they drop anchor, and this is like a breath, and the anchor holds that ship in place. So when you take a deep breath and you adopt a seed habit, that is your anchor that's holding you in place and grounding you. And when you become very aware of that and you take the deep breath and you look at where your anchor is actually holding you steadfast, you can actually revert back to that, take a deep breath, recalibrate and reground, and then actually be able to continue with coping with perhaps actually saying, okay, well, you know, I've sort of bypassed what I should be doing, and you reground yourself and you come back to the actual objective of what you are trying to do with actually improving your life.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's sometimes when I'm coaching, I use mind mapping, and it's an incredible way of grounding yourself. There's another way of actually saying, well, today, right now, after I've listened to this podcast, I'm going to go and do this. And you draw yourself a tree. You start off with the trunk, which is your base, and from the tree you draw 5 branches. And your base trunk, you write on it your actual objective. And then your 5 branches become the extension and the immediate thoughts that come to you. They become your extension of that base thought. And you'll be very surprised that things will pop into your head. So I'm going to say, you've got 5 things. One's meditating daily. The next one is writing my daily gratitude. The next one would be eating properly, going sober. Another one could be waking up earlier, say 5 a.m. in order to be able to take the dog for a walk. And your base one is, let's say my seed, my tree, your base thought, my better me. And then, surprisingly, from that, you then actually draw the roots. And you can do 5 roots with 5 grounding thoughts. And you can then actually look at that, and this is your seed planting. So you don't have to have a seed to do it, but it's kind of fun to do it when you have children, or even for yourself if you love growing things. But you can actually have that mind map, which is in the form of a tree or a beautiful plant. And you can look at that every day when you do your daily gratitude, and you can actually say to yourself, this is actually what I'm doing. And you have something there substantial that is part of what you're going to do. And this is bringing me back to dream building. When we actually coach dream building, we coach people to create a blueprint. So your seed planting can actually be your blueprint. When, we told a beautiful story at one of our last alumni in the States with our wonderful Life Mastery Institute. I think it was one of our mentors. I adore him. His name's John Boggs, and he told the story about bamboo. And I would love for you, Wayne, to actually share the story with everybody, because it is a wonderful lesson to you of how to actually create your goals for your life.
Yeah, it's about the rhizome. The rhizome is the growth in the roots, and that's the support. So if we think about ourselves, and Susan's analogy right then about the roots growing of the tree, having 5 grounding ideas. Well, the rhizome for the Chinese bamboo, it's a special bamboo that grows very slowly. It has to have the right conditions. It has to have the right water, the right amount of soil, the right living conditions. So this bamboo grows only an inch for the first year. In the second year, it only grows an inch. And the third year, it only grows an inch. The fourth year, it also only grows an inch. But the fifth year, it grows something like 9 feet, or even 18 feet, I think it might have been. So it just takes off. So how does it do that? Well, the first year underground, it spreads its roots double what it's growing, if not triple, right? And then while above ground, it's only growing an inch a year, the roots are actually growing and spreading so much further, and so it can support itself in the wind and the rain, and have the nutrients that it can support that growth of 9 or 18 feet after the 5th year. So you've grown this big rhizome under the ground. And what we love about this analogy in our own life is that the more you learn about your awareness and about creating, especially in the Dream Builder process that we teach, it's all about creating your rhizome, for your own life. And that's creating that knowledge of awareness to what or how you can grow that knowledge to support that growth in your own life. Hopefully I've helped describe that for how you can relate that to your own life. And what we do with as coaches, we create this knowledge for that person to all of a sudden take off. And everyone's different. So each one of us needs to grow our rhizome to support that growth to incredible success or incredible life that you want to create. And it's about growing.
Yes. And this is where we come in and we talk about resolutions. There's no need to say to yourself, okay, on this day, January the 1st, this is what I'm going to do. Get out there and remember that you are extremely powerful. You don't have to wait for a certain day. What you have to do is actually be very mindful of when you make that decision, and it's actually there within your psyche, in your mind. That decision is your inner voice saying, hey, wake up. This is a wake-up call. I am here. I'm putting an idea into your head, and take action. So, sorry, Wayne, most of the time we have no idea that what we're supposed to be doing or what we're supposed to be imitating. We just go with the flow these days in this modern age, and we actually sort of allow things to happen and expect them to, because we are a consumer society.
Mm.
And this is like what I love about Heather. She is this incredible person who, I call her my jam and pickle lady. She's always creating something amazing in the kitchen from her organic garden, which she is going to speak about, not today, but on another podcast. And one of the most healing things is understanding that you are actually working with real live things that are going to nurture you.
Mm.
So
and to really put that in a cemented way, like, instead of creating a resolution, create that way of being that you want to create. Because we all know on this lovely little panel that we all have a power and strength and purpose in this life, every one of us, and it's unique to us.
Mm.
So instead of creating a resolution that don't work, have a look at really, who do you want to be for your life? What is your strength? What would you love to do and be? It's all about being that person, and instead of having a resolution.
And a lot of resolution, I'm sure if we have a look at good old Google and what the actual word means, it's completely opposite on what we're wanting, because everything is about us, about face anyway.
Yeah.
When it comes to these things. We were talking before, and what our topic was going to be, to leave you all with something of a holiday season from us coaches. And it was to do with, what are people are wanting? Well, first of all, they're wanting money and relationships, because we're in this cycle of need. This is what we need. This is what I want. But through the dream building and everything that we do here, we kick a lot of unkind lies out the door. We say, well, are you ready for that money? What are you doing? And are you beating yourself up because of the hype that's building up to that resolution? You're not ready, because there's this it's on an energetic level, there's this hype of need and want, pleading, I call it, this pleading. And when these guys are talking about the good old bamboo, actually, Wayne, I actually went to try and buy some. I want to plant some. It was 2 days ago, and I ended up with a thyme fund bush. No, seriously, because everything is all interconnected. And it's that hype. So my suggestion is to listen to what we're actually saying, like planting that seed, that one mustard seed.
Yeah.
And it's building. First of all, it grows into the root system, into the ground. And we need to be fertilized. We need to be grounded. If you want to use these cliche words, we need to be solidly grounded in what we want. So my suggestion is to take what Susan said about the branches of the tree.
Yeah.
Play with it, and then come back and ask us more about manifestation of our heart's desire and what we want for next year. Not what everybody else is doing, but what you're wanting.
Absolutely. And Heather, what I'd love people to understand and know is that they are far greater and far superior and more important. And they're more mysterious than their conceptual minds try to define. And that's why they're far more powerful than they think they are. And, you know, they need to embrace life as well. They need to let go, and they need to embrace the moment. So in mindfulness, that's what you've got to do. Whether it contains an obstacle or an opportunity. Stop thinking over those trivial matters.
And what everybody's doing, I know. What everybody's doing. Yeah. What everybody's doing is really uncovering you.
And also what you said there about, you know, everyone wants money and stuff. Wanting it doesn't get it. It's the wrong energy. You know, the problem with society today is that we need this, we need that, we need this. And now money is just an exchange of energy. It's no good or bad with money, in my point of view and my belief. It's beautiful to have because you can do so many good things with it. And it's necessary in today's world. But if you want it or need it, then you're coming from the wrong energy. You need to come from the person who can do good in the world. That's my belief.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when we create our outside reality by the thoughts and beliefs that we maintain about life in general. And, you know, the thing is, what we believe in our inner world, if you can actually really believe within your inner world, and that this is what we coach in dream building, you see in your outer world. And there's no other way around it. The fact is, it is like planting that seed as well. The seed is there. It's there.
Yeah.
It depends on how you look after it.
And
you guys are getting a packet of seeds for Christmas, by the way.
Yay!
and you know, we're in this universe that's inside out, right? And it takes probably some of our listeners won't get that straight away, but you've heard us in other podcasts saying, where does our thoughts come from? You know, how do we create stuff? It starts with a thought. Well, this is the same thing. It's an inside out universe. Everything is within us, and it's planted by a little seed in us of a thought. And then that grows. And we need to nurture the good ones and pull out the ones that don't serve us.
We do weeding well, don't we?
Yeah. We weed.
We weed. We're gardeners. We're gardeners.
Your life is a reflection too. And I was thinking about it this morning, and I said to my husband, I think it was 6:30, I'll go and do some weeding. Got out there, hadn't done weeding for such a long time, and I only found 2 little ones, and I was really disappointed. But if you really look at it, it's very in an alignment of who I am, you know, because we're weeding our gardens, pulling them out, and our daily lives, we're weeding internally what's within us.
Absolutely.
And we pull them out. And I love this metaphysical world, because everything that is being shown on the outside is actually what's within us, ourselves. So on that note, guys, you know, we wish you a happy holiday season of gorgeousness and beauty and celebration. And if you have nothing and you feel painful, I want to tell you, you've got more than other people. You've got you, and everything is within you, and you're not missing out on anything, because it's only just begun for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you are powerful.
And be bold and courageous.
Be nutty.
Yeah, and make those decisions to benefit your growth. You know,
Yes.
I say to some of my clients, imagine yourself on your deathbed. And where are your thoughts there? What have you achieved? Because you can't take anything away with you in a body bag. What have you done for yourself and your spiritual growth? So, you know, time doesn't stand still. Time's precious. As we are speaking to each other right now, and as you are listening to us, you are in that moment of preciousness. So you must start as soon as possible, and you must make any necessary changes that you honestly believe are going to benefit you, so that when you are on that deathbed, you go out of this time knowing that you are unique, you are special, you've matured, you planted that seed, and you've grown it into the most beautiful 9-foot tall bamboo.
And I want to also say too, as I was just listening to you, Susan, the good thing about True Voice today and the holiday seasons, we don't close shop. Everyone in our website, and I'll put a link down below, where actually you're seeing and hearing us in the website. If you do feel alone, I actually, and on behalf of us all, I want you to email us.
Yeah.
Our website is a little bit quirky. I want to say quirky. It's very simple. It's very natural. It's very open, and write to us. Our doors are always open. Just hit that little wee envelope and directly write to us. Leave a comment. And even if you just want a word for the day, we will send you something. We're always there because we're here for you.
Absolutely. We are. And just go easy on yourselves. You know, whatever you do today, let it be enough. Because you are more than enough. And love yourself. Love yourself. First and foremost, before anything.
Yeah. Nurture those, as Susan says, nurture those lovely seeds that you want to create into a beautiful life. And don't pull those weeds that are beating yourself up or creating that hurt in you. Pull them out and contact us if you want help.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You know, we place far too much emphasis on other people's opinions. In the long run, when you sort of project and sort of look 2 or 3 months down the line, you can't even remember what has happened to you that's created distress or a disharmony in your ability to be the I am person that you meant to be. And when you can actually start removing yourself from that, and we talk about pulling those weeds as well, those weeds of discontent, those weeds of, oh gosh, I've broken another resolution, and you beat yourself up. Remember that when you actually are pulling those weeds, that beautiful, beautiful seed that you plant is actually growing more and more powerful, because you're removing all the excess baggage in your weed form that you don't need any longer. So simplify your life, simplify your mind, and don't allow modern day advertising and all of this sort of thing stress you out and make you believe that only at this time of the year you've got to do something, and then I can't do it, and I don't have the money. And money is, as Wayne says, it's just energy. But what you do with yourself and your internal spirit and your external attitude is worth thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars more than anything else in the world.
And that's true success.
Well, that's the part of growing that rhizome for yourself.
Absolutely.
The more you grow in your awareness, the more those things will come to you anyway.
So thank you for being with us today. And I say bye-bye from me.
Bye-bye for me.
And bye, everyone. It's been so great talking to you. Have a wonderful festive season, and I love you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you.